Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Broverwatch podcast. This isn't the day we usually come out with a podcast now, is it?
Interesting.
We didn't come out with a podcast this last Monday. A couple of reasons for that. One, we knew there was going to be a lot of news this week, so it was like, if we have a show, we're just going to have to cover a lot of the late news next show. And it seems like, for the most part, all the news has come out about releases and stuff like that. So we're hoping no more news will come out of any, like, real substance. I don't think it will.
There's 2 more days until the expansion signing window, so maybe some teams try to drop a couple people before that, but I don't think it'll be major players.
Like, even Flame of the Houston Outlaws was like, just so everyone knows, like, there might be a couple announcements about the team, but that's all the roster slots that were,
freeing up.
So that was the main reason, was there was going to be a lot of news this week anyway, so we just figured we'll wait. Another reason is both of us started school this week, or I guess, did you start today? Nice.
Yeah, I had anthropology today.
Ooh, what is that? The study of the plants?
Cultures.
Okay, well.
It's a study of tall ant creatures.
I guess that's somewhat plant related.
No, not at all, actually.
Oh, interesting. I'm sorry, I've been on a Harry Potter kick, so as soon as you said ology, I thought herbology. Anthropology and herbology sound the friggin' same. Anyway, everybody, welcome to
Adam's had astronomy and he didn't pay attention.
No, didn't.
Did you watch/listen to the new Joe Rogan podcast with Elon Musk?
No, but I watched him smoke a fat doob.
You see how all the news reports were like, "Oh, Elon Musk is smoking and drinking alcohol."
It's like, cool.
You mean the tamest thing that a billionaire's done in a while?
And it's funny, literally, as he's doing it, Joe Rogan's like, "Are you gonna lose investors for this?" And he's like, "Eh." And then the next day, everyone's like, "What?" It's like,
and
okay.
the stock dropped like $20.
Really?
It's like,
I thought you were gonna say 20%, and I was like, that would be ridiculous. Anyway, everybody, welcome to the Broverwatch podcast. We hope you enjoy your stay. This is the podcast where we talk about Overwatch League news and matches. We're not going to talk about any matches today. They're actually going on right now, World Cup matches, but we'll talk about those on Monday. Today will pretty much all just be recap of the past week or two of news. There was no news, and then there was too much news.
We're texting constantly.
It was just like, "Did you see this link?" Yes, I saw the link. "Did you see this, though?" Yeah, yep. Every single time we had seen it already. But anyway, hope you enjoy your stay. Now let's get right into the news. The first thing we're going to start off with is probably the biggest news, and it was announced today, is there are 8 new teams in the Overwatch League in Season 2.
Yes. Big news.
Big news.
Money news.
Big money, big news.
Because it costs $60 million to get into the league.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. The rumor has always been 2 NA teams, 2 EU teams, 2 Asian teams. Very much not the case at all.
No. It was slightly close.
Somewhat
actually,
close.
Wasn't at all.
Not at all close, actually, at all.
I was lying.
The 8 new teams
that,
are
Canada and America are both in North America.
Yeah, interesting.
Interesting how that one works out.
I like how you turned into a bird halfway through that sentence. The 8 teams are 3 new Chinese teams. That caught me by surprise.
It did and it didn't. Like, they also
it caught me by surprise that it's 3.
They have 1 billion people.
Yeah, but it caught me by surprise that it was 3. I knew for sure 1. Actually, I didn't even know for sure 1, but I was like, there's probably going to be 1. And it's like, honestly, wouldn't be surprised if there's 2.
Populations of these places.
Here's what I'm upset about. Okay? I'm already upset. These are the first 3 teams, new 3 teams announced. Already upset. All right? Hangzhou, Chengdu, or Chengdu, and Guangzhou. Too many U's. But that's just me. It does. If they're making money, they're making funny.
Oh wow! I just found something really interesting out.
What?
I'm just gonna search up the last team. Guangzhou.
Yep. ZHOU.
And then we're gonna type in population here.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna talk about how.
No, I just want. This is a guessing game now. How many people do you think live in Guangzhou?
Real quick, never gonna get any of these right.
I know, but I just want you to guess.
I'm gonna be so off. In Guangzhou, I don't even know the population of China, dude. I'm gonna guess
it's 1 billion. It's over 1 billion.
Over 1 billion in China. Okay. Man, this is exposing me as a dumb.
No, it's not.
I know. Guangzhou, I'm gonna guess between 100 and 200 million.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's never been a city that big in the entire world.
Yes, there has.
No, there hasn't.
You just said you're not going to look dumb. Then you freaking expose me. Fine.
Well, I didn't think you were going to go hundreds of millions.
No, dude. There's friggin' billion people.
It's 14 million. It's 14 million.
You should have let me guess again.
14 million in Guangzhou, 14 million in Chengdu, and 9.5 million in Hangzhou. So it's over 30 million people.
That's a lot.
Which is the entire population of Canada.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
By signing 3 teams,
they
made
got all of Canada.
They made signing 2 Canadian teams not matter.
Yeah.
Except signing 2 Canadian teams is very important, in my opinion. Anyway,
Canadians.
It is interesting that all of these end in "oo." It's going to be confusing. It's not going to be confusing at all. But it is somewhat interesting that they got 3 Chinese teams and, spoiler alert, no Korean teams.
Yeah. I was kind of, after that Busan rumor, which wasn't really a rumor at all, but just
I think someone just went, they came out with a Busan map. Now I know another city in Korea.
Yeah. Now I'm going to use my fake slasher account.
Yeah.
But that would have made sense.
Yeah.
But, yes.
No. Yeah, I guess they just didn't get the money. Honestly, my guess is Toronto was like, shoot, we were going to jump on the train season 1. We didn't get in there. Now it's way more money. Let's just jump in now, though, because it's just going to be more money next year. And I feel like that might happen to Busan this year.
I heard Berlin just couldn't get it organized in time for this. So
yeah. So those are the 3 Chinese teams.
Yeah.
Only EU team. 1 EU team is Paris. And that was one of the earlier ones. So we were like, oh, Paris? Yeah. Wonder what other EU teams there's going to be. None. So
like Berlin would have made sense. Maybe, probably not a Spanish team. Maybe
France.
Well, look, come on. You're really doing this to yourself.
You almost fell for that one. You were about to correct me, and then I goosed out on you.
Maybe Stockholm.
Yeah, or like friggin' what's the Netherlands
Luxembourg.
place?
Oh, Amsterdam.
That's the one. That's another one I thought of. The issue is, well, a lot of people are upset about this. They're like, why is there only 1 more EU team? Like, EU teams, what? It's Paris now and London. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are upset. For example, at Butsy the Dane responded to the official Overwatch League post and said, could you guys get more EU teams? And we responded with many alike, saying,
Wait. Oh,
there were many likes on the tweet, 96 to be exact, 3 replies, just saying.
Wow. Right.
Actually, let me check statistics. 44,000 impressions and 146 total engagements. And they're still going up. 24 profile checks.
That's pretty good. And they realized that we're just a couple dirty boys.
Interesting. we did get a follower. Anyway, we tweeted, unfortunately, there's few EU teams because no one wants to invest there, especially since that the match scheduling heavily favors the NA time zones. This, of course, is because if you're in EU, if you want to watch Overwatch League games, you got to stay up till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number, but it's ridiculous.
It's too late.
Yeah. So why would you get a home city in a place that can't even watch the games?
Mm-hmm.
So then one person replied, at Destiny Awaits 42, says, it's not because there's no investment, it's because Blizzard doesn't offer a compelling case for European organizations to invest, which is the same thing.
The compelling case is, look at what happened in the first year.
London won.
That's the whole case you need.
Yeah.
Just like how successful it was.
Yeah.
And wait, to prove the success of the Overwatch League, I'm just going to say this, a little proof here. In r/esports, they did a survey about which leagues you follow the most. And guess which one won?
Overwatch League? Wow.
And then CSGO.
Really?
Yeah. CSGO.
Like, I know CSGO is huge, but if I guessed, I would have said League, CSGO, Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
It was 50% North American. So I'm sure if it was like 50% Asian or whatever, maybe probably a little more League.
And probably more Dota as well.
Dota's
That's interesting.
4.
Well,
and then
Dota isn't a sport.
Fortnite's 6.
Oh, hey, get out of here. Anyway. The friggin' video's still, we haven't finished announcing the teams yet. I'm stupid. I apologize. I was like,
stupid idiot.
Moving on. So it was
we just did Paris, North America.
Yeah.
We got Toronto,
spoilers.
Washington, Atlanta, and Vancouver.
We got Toronto, Washington, Atlanta,
and Vancouver.
Which
I didn't think we were going to get to, which is kind of surprised me.
There was most of the time I was like, dude, we're probably not even going to get a team.
Yeah.
And now that it's happened, I'm like, of course, why would we not get a team? Also, we got 2 teams. Although, honestly, I was thinking about it while waiting for the bus today. I was like, dude, I'm going to hate Vancouver.
Oh, we have to.
I'm going to hate Vancouver.
I don't
like,
think we're
obviously, if Toronto gets out and Vancouver's in, I'll probably cheer for Vancouver. But I'm going to hate Vancouver. And I don't know why. I've never felt this.
I want them to die.
I don't
Not
even know.
Actually.
I don't know who's on it. I don't know who's coaching it. But, man, I don't like them.
Well, Kai.
Well, maybe. We'll get into that later. But that's a maybe.
That's a hopeful maybe.
Hopeful maybe.
We need to represent well. Go to DC. Go to Atlanta. Fuck them. I don't care about them. Kai is all not Kai. Just stay away from me. Even though it looks like DC and Atlanta.
Kai, if you want to come on the podcast for an interview, feel free. We'd love to talk to you.
Kai, if you want me to verbally assault you,
yeah,
I'll do it.
So Atlanta we knew, Washington, D.C. we didn't know, but it's not a surprise.
No. And then Vancouver it's kind of a surprise because we don't think about Vancouver a lot, but it's like second biggest city in.
I mean, we have talked about it in the past a little bit where we said, I really hope it's Toronto and not Vancouver.
Yeah.
So we thought about Vancouver, but and then we got both. Also, do you want to? No, never mind. I was gonna say, do you want to just do real quick ideas for like color scheme and name? Not for every team.
I've only thought about Toronto.
Same. I've only thought about Toronto.
So Toronto, probably a little red. Thinking a little red for this.
I'm not gonna react because
probably some black too, like a deep red, and some black, not the Shanghai red.
Like a maroon.
Sort of. and then white accents, kind of like the Canada Overwatch League skins. And for Vancouver, I'm thinking some blues, some darker blues, a little grays, like the ocean.
There's a lot of blue teams.
I know. I based that off their former basketball team, Vancouver Grizzlies.
Oh, okay. Here's my idea. First of all, I always thought Toronto's going to join, they're going to be red and white. Because they're Canada. And then I was like, oh shoot, there's 2 Canada teams. Also, I don't know. So, like, Toronto can't be red and white. In my opinion, Toronto can't be, like, red and white if there's another Canadian team, because then it's like, this is the Canada team. Also, there's Vancouver. So...
What about hot pink?
Get out of here. So this is what I'm thinking. Light blue and black. Or, like, a dark gray.
Interesting.
And then, because my thought process was white and light blue, that would look really cool. But then...
That's kind of Dallas. But, like, the blue and white is kind of Dallas.
Yeah, but it would be a different shade of blue. It would be a very light blue. Like, almost
like
an icy blue. Almost an icy blue.
Interesting.
And, because that's what I was thinking, and then I was like, but then, like, away teams are white. So I was like, oh, they could be black and light blue, because that would be, like, really cool looking. But then when they're away, they kind of look like ice. And the team name could be the Toronto Ice Boys.
I think I have to go.
I don't have a team name for Toronto. I haven't thought about that at all.
I have no idea what they would call them. Toronto, we have a lot of shootings this year.
Not as many as US. Let's not turn it into this, okay? I do have a team name for Washington, D.C. The DC. And the second DC. Oh, that's actually cool. I was going to say the Dick Chompers, but Washington, D.C. Disconnect is actually a really cool name. Dude, that's a cool name.
Were you just going to name a team the Dick Chompers?
Yeah. So those are the teams. I'm excited. I'm glad that we have 2 Canada teams. I'm excited to see more. Oh, also, I don't have a link for this, but Slasher tweeted saying that he talked to, I forget who it was. It was some sort of, like, publication thing. And he was pretty much like, I predicted that out of the 6 new teams, 60 of them would be Korean.
Like 60 players?
60 players out of 6 12-man rosters.
I told USA Today last week that if there were 6 new Overwatch League franchises, I expected at least 50 of those players would be from Korea. Now with 8 new Overwatch League teams, sources from around the league concur with this assessment. Expect more than 50.
And then someone was like, with his math, he's guessing that 70% will be Korean, which is nuts, because in the first season of Overwatch League, 45% of the league was Korean players. So 70%'s nuts.
I'm not really convinced with that. I know he's right about a lot of stuff, but that's high.
That is high. And there's a lot of really talented players in NA contenders.
In all of contenders.
Or wait, I guess it's not NA.
NA and EU. There's a lot of good players.
Yeah. So obviously there's going to be a ton of Koreans, but I don't think it's going to be 70%.
If Brazil does well, I'm sure like some of their players will be picked up because they're the best South American contenders team.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that if they do well, like they win a couple games.
This is why it's like, I keep thinking things like, man, I hope a player like Mangachu gets picked up. And that's like, he's going to get picked up. There's 8 new teams, and there's spots on all the like old teams.
Like Zachary's going to get picked up.
He's going to get picked
He's
up.
insane.
Yeah, he is.
They're doing a montage of all the heroes he can play, and it's just every single one.
Yep.
everyone that can kill you, he can play.
It's kind of similar with Mangachu, except he's like
Mangachu plays a lot of weird characters. He
plays
played
a lot of weird
Doomfist.
characters.
The thing I like is that they've been playing Doomfist non-ironically, or like not just to get onto the last point.
Yeah,
a lot. In the
although
World Cup.
in like Mangachu's interview after the game, Puckett was like, "So like, are these some strats you might pull out against U.S.?" And he was like, "No, I'll honestly probably never play Hammond again in the World Cup." And he was like completely serious, and he's like, "Maybe you'll see some Hammond, but it might be from XQC. I'm probably not going to play Hammond anymore."
XQC's pretty good at Hammond.
XQC's good. It was so nice to see him on that stage again.
No.
And he was like, he was wearing his friggin' Dallas Fuel long sleeve under his jersey, and I was like, oh my. Anyway, it was nice to see. So those are the new teams. I'm excited.
Hey, can someone please sign XQC?
It's not going to happen. I don't even think he's interested anymore. He's having so much success as a streamer. Unless someone was like unless someone signed him and were like, we promise you that like we understand that you are a large streamer, and we'll like we expect you to come to scrims and everything, but we understand and we'll do our best to like accommodate. Unless someone made him a really good deal, I don't think there's any chance. And I don't think Blizzard even really wants him.
Well, Blizzard doesn't even want him streaming.
Yeah, I know.
I was telling my girlfriend about all his suspensions today, and they're really strict.
Yeah.
And it's only to him.
Yeah.
So
he like, it's like, why don't you want him streaming your game? He's the main carrier of your game.
We always end up talking about XQC, but
I know. Although
anyway.
Just like real quick side note, Seagull peaked 100K viewers. It was more than that, but he hit 100K viewers at one time.
Diva Nano challenge.
Yeah.
Thing.
So of course, like, yeah, more people were tuning in because they wanted the Diva sprays, but it's like it's still consistently going.
Yeah.
Like very consistently. Most people have all their sprays by now. He's still getting like nutty numbers, and he deserves it so much. He was like, apparently when he finished his stream, his sub notifications were 4 hours behind. Because like it has to do the full animation, fade in, stay there, fade out, and he streamed for like I think over 10 hours. They were 4 hours behind. It's like
I've watched a little bit of his stream. Not too much.
It was enjoyable.
I like him.
He's a nice boy. So now he's there also as a Twitch streamer. This is the first story. We got to speed through these. This next one's real quick. Monty talking about signing and releasing players. He's pretty much says it's fascinating to watch the Overwatch League community in its first off season. Sorry. Teams are making the right choices when it comes to adding and dropping players, but the reaction is unreasonably emotional by fans. Don't worry, good players will get re-signed. First of all, it makes sense that people would get emotional because you get attached to the players, not the teams. I mean, to the teams, but mostly to the players. But also, he's right in saying the good players will get re-signed.
Yeah.
Like, even players that, like, were there but weren't, like, super prominent presences in the league, like Yanis, he's going to get signed. Yanis is going to get signed. Anyway, that was just a quickie.
So let's just start with Boston, I guess. Is that the first one? The list on your freaking tabs because you don't like.
No,
me.
I have.
You don't want to share the itinerary with me,
dude. You have a table there. You can just find the one I'm talking about. Easy. First up, Seoul Dynasty releases Gambler.
And then he gets signed as a streamer.
Yeah, to Gen G Esports. So I guess they didn't release him. He's retiring.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
I like Gambler a lot. He seems.
Did he play a lot?
Near the end, he played a decent amount. They kind of subbed him in once in a while.
But yeah. So there's that.
So there you go. Yeah, nothing to say about that one because he just retired. Seoul Dynasty also releases Miro, Guido, and Wakid. none of these super surprising. Miro somewhat surprising. He wasn't really performing near the end of the season, but like he's a vet. Like he's a veteran. Yeah. So
but
honestly,
they need the roster spots because it seems like they're gonna be
pretty much
rebooting their entire team.
Yeah, but keeping Ryu Jae-hong and like Fleta and stuff like that. And honestly, I think they're hoping that Toby will like be back in his prime again.
Mm-hmm. And just to note, they also released 3 coaches and promoted Hokuri, I guess that's how you say it, to their general manager, and signed Changun as their coach. I'm not sure if he's head coach or assistant coach. And then KDG to coach. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure, again, what role he's in.
I think KDG might be head coach.
Let me just do a little deep dive into it.
And obviously...
Oh, yeah, KDG's head coach.
Obviously, we've said this a couple times, but Calder and I only just started like being invested in Overwatch esports just like half a year ago, like at the beginning of season 1. And so the
reason Changun's important is because he was with the Spitfire when they won the grand finals.
Ooh. But yeah, so we don't know all of these people. I know people freaked out when KDG was signed as head coach, and they were like, yeah, and I'm like, sorry, don't know who he is, but apparently
don't really have a lot of background on him.
Apparently he's crazy good. All right, next up, Boston releases 3 players. Boston releases Kalios, Avast, and Snow. Kalios is an off-tank, right?
Yes.
And then the other 2 are supports. Boston had too many supports.
Makes sense. 5 supports. Ridiculous.
Yeah. They still have 3. That's somewhat makes more sense.
Kalios makes sense just because Note is...
Note is nuts.
Nutty Note.
Nutty Note only. But yeah,
I could see Kalios, and I could see all of them getting picked up, whether it be backup or otherwise. Snow is
well liked, but was never played until the last game against Shanghai.
Yeah,
I think it was, but yeah, I think Snow for sure is gonna get picked up.
Yeah, because I think he's young. I don't have any proof of that, but I'm pretty sure he's fairly young.
And he's likable. People like him even though he never played.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he'll get picked up. And the other 2 probably will as well. Boston also released Mistakes. I'm not going to read this full note from Huck, but he's pretty much saying...
thanks.
Yeah, like the first bit's pretty much like, hey, you were... Apparently Mistakes was the first person they signed.
Oh yeah, that seemed kind of weird.
But it was like you were the first person we picked up for the team, and then you did not take on the role we thought you would. We thought you were just a sub, and then you ended up being...
I wonder why they switched him into...
Apparently, you know.
Apparently the other guy on the team was kind of a creep.
A bit of a creep.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you want to read this, just pause the... Like, if you're watching the video, just pause the video. Or Google it. Just Google...
Mistakes Overwatch.
Mistakes released from Boston or something. They also posted a picture of Mistakes.
But they also I think they also did those statements for like the other 3 too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Next up, Los Angeles Gladiators release iRemix, Asher, and Silk Thread.
Mm-hmm. Now, they're very weak at the main tank position, namely because they don't have one anymore.
They have no main tank now.
So that's important.
Honestly, maybe they get Fact Fiction, which we haven't talked about yet, but maybe they get him.
That can make sense. Asher and I see Silk Thread getting picked up.
Yeah, he's nuts. It's just they have such a good DPS.
Hydration line. Just is too good.
Yeah.
And I could see Asher getting picked up by a team that needs a tracer. Like...
Or Zen. I'm pretty sure he played Zen for a bit as well.
Let's see. This table has all the things linked in it, so you could have just used this, but you don't like me.
Yeah, but loading links while recording is
I'm
a
sorry,
no-go.
your computer's garbage.
It's not actually. Anyway, none of these are.
Contenders Season 2 finals are starting right now.
Oh, maybe we'll finish this up and watch it.
XL2
XL2 and
FU.
Fusion.
I guess Zachary's not playing
Why not?
because he played with USA like 5 minutes ago.
So did Mangachu. He's on XL2. And they were talking about how they were going to play.
All right.
They'll probably put him in for one game, and if they do bad, it's like, okay, you're tired.
I mean, they kind of need both of them. So.
They're both very prominent players on their teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of
Can't
these.
wait to see what team Zachary goes to.
Toronto, please, Toronto. Dude, imagine a Zachary Mangachu DPS line. They can both play anything.
I know.
That would be
It'd
nuts.
be amazing. Won't happen, but it'll be amazing.
Correct. None of these three are surprising, but also all three of these will likely be picked up. I think iRemix will be picked up.
Yeah, I could see him. I'm not sure if he'll be like a main tank on a team, but
I think honestly, I don't think he's as bad as people think. He just never really got.
I just don't think he's like. I'm not sure.
I could see him on Atlanta or Washington or Vancouver even.
I just don't know if he's like a player on a championship team. I could see him on a contending team.
I know what you mean. You could see him on a team like LA Gladiators, but not on a team like Philadelphia Fusion.
Or like NYXL.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. New
Like
York.
He's good. Yeah.
Speaking of NYXL, New York releases Wizard Hyung, their head coach. That, out of all of the releases, honestly probably the most surprising to me.
Which it seems like a slight overreaction if we're gonna.
What I just said?
No, that they just released.
Oh yeah,
Young. They did. Like they didn't make it to the grand finals, but I'm not sure how much of that had to do with him.
I don't know, but
the
yeah,
players on their team were really able to flex into the new meta in time.
Yeah.
So.
Sandbagging. He's obviously going to get picked. I'm sure he's been getting offers from every team.
Yeah.
He's going to get signed. But this was honestly the most surprising of all the releases to me. Yeah. On to the next one. NYXL also releases Yanis. Some people say Janice. Apparently it's Yanis.
Yeah.
Not surprising. He didn't really play. They brought him in a couple times.
So, Yanis to LA Gladiators?
Interesting.
Maybe.
I could also see him being a very good expansion team pickup.
Yeah. I just clicked on his Liquipedia page, website, and trivia, he has an older brother. He has a rabbit in his Korean home.
Nice.
Interesting.
Little quick fact about Yanis there for you guys. He has a rabbit in his Korean home. On to the next story. Shanghai Dragons have released Altering Free Feel 5 King Roshan, Zushu, Otto, Sky, and Damon.
You could have just said the people they didn't release.
They didn't release Gegiri, Dia, and Fearless.
Yeah.
They kept 3.
Otto's surprising.
Otto is surprising.
Damon slightly.
Everyone else not surprising.
Yeah.
Apparently Roshan's actually really good. He just never really got a chance to play on a good team. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Roshan got picked up by a team.
Maybe
it's just
Gladiators. Fearless
is better. Maybe Gladiators.
Say that every time a main tank comes up.
But yeah, Wizard Hyung was the most surprising release, but this was probably the most surprising news that they were only keeping 3 players.
Yeah. Like I could have seen them keeping 5 4 or 5.
Yeah. I thought they'd
But-
keep the 3 players they did, and then maybe Otto, Damon, and maybe Sky.
So it looks like they're going all in.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to.
Yeah, I guess that's the other reason it was surprising, was because there were so many rumors being like Shanghai's going to be an all Chinese team. It's like, nope.
Yeah. Which
Nope.
kind of makes sense for like competitive sake.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah,
that's all.
I have high hopes for Shanghai. Get a win, please. Also,
As some people said when the 8 teams were announced, just 8 more teams for Shanghai to lose to.
also when the news that like it might be like less games per team, it was like, looks like we're not having an 0-80, boys. Looks like it's only going to be an 0-63 or whatever it was. Anyway, Otto said on stream,
일단 어디 팀 갈지는
obviously
아직
us English
아무런
speakers
얘기가
don't
되는
understand
데가
what he's
하나도
saying,
없고요.
but pretty much what he said was that one thing I want to say is I want to make them rue the day they let me go. They've made me really determined. And Tom Carlson responds with a gif of Emperor Palpatine from Return of the Jedi saying, "Good, good," which is probably the best reaction to this. I would love for Otto to come back on a team and completely destroy Shanghai, as much as I want Shanghai to do well.
Yeah.
I also like Otto and don't think he should have been released.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, he was hot take. He was a bit more of a carry than Dia. Dia was good, but Otto was much more consistent.
Yeah, I get that.
And like in the games near the end, because Shanghai almost won most of the games at the end.
Yeah, they were getting pretty close at the end.
And with almost all of those, there were points where it's like, Shanghai's lost it. They just lost it. I had hope, but they lost it. And then Otto would be like, see this Genji blade? And then they would be like, oh, they're still in it, like 6 times. So he's going to get picked up for sure.
Yeah, he will.
Philadelphia Fusion release Shadowburn, Joe Meister, and Dayfly. Not really surprising for any of these.
No, because they didn't play any of them, really.
No. Shadowburn isn't a... It's not a surprise that he was released. It's a surprise that he has to be released from a team. Because it's like, he should be a starter, which is why he's being released, because he's not being played and he deserves to be a starter.
Yeah.
But I hope he goes to Toronto. As for Joe Meister and Dayfly, I think they'll probably both get picked up.
Yeah.
Probably by expansion teams.
Mm-hmm.
For both of them.
I see them getting picked up. Like
I don't see like Boston signing Dayfly or Joe Meister or something like that. I don't see an established team signing Dayfly or Joe Meister.
No.
Maybe an
I
established
could see
team.
like Toronto or Vancouver signing Joe Meister.
Yeah. I see a very small possibility where Shadowburn gets signed to an already existing team.
Yeah.
Maybe Houston. Or no, why would they sign him?
There were the rumors about him going to Dallas, but I don't want that to happen.
I don't think that should happen. They've got Taimu, who's been a lot more consistent recently.
Yeah. They don't have a real projectile player, which is a problem, but like also does Shadowburn really want to go to
play on Dallas? I mean, they picked it up in stage 4. Arrow's a good coach. Yeah, all 3 of these not guaranteed will get signed. Shadowburn guaranteed will get signed. The other 2 probably. London welcomes Kwangbok Kim, coach. They call him Coach 815, and he's the new head coach of London Spitfire. Interesting that they won the whole thing and they're switching up coaches.
Strange to say the least.
But
who was he with? He was with MVP Space in Contenders Korea, who came 5th to 8th.
Oh yeah, people were talking about this and they were like, why would they? Why? But then some like high ups were like, guys, he's good. Like he knows how to coach a team. It's just
His teams aren't the greatest or whatever.
I don't know what they were saying, but they were pretty much like believe in him.
Yeah.
So I guess we got to believe in him.
It's just a strange move. Like
It is strange to
Why?
win the entire thing and then switch up coaching. That's weird.
anyway.
Next up, not a surprise. Fact Fiction released by Houston Outlaws. This is much like Shadowburn, where it's like he shouldn't have to be released because he has starter skill. He has a starter skill level. It's just he's
He
not a
also
starter.
does kind of look like a Muppet.
No comment on that one.
That's the only thing
He
I
also,
could think every time
honestly,
I see him.
he kind of talks like one as well. But I love him. So I would love if he got picked up by
He was on FaZe Clan.
Toronto. Yeah,
Do you know that?
they had a contenders team. But
Raucus was too. Much.
yeah, I think that he will get picked up easy. Don't know where he's going, but he will definitely. Honestly, like we said earlier, Gladiators. I think he would be
Yeah.
great for Gladiators
Or an expansion team.
or an expansion team. Yeah. It's just if Muma wasn't so good, Fact Fiction would have a starting spot on the
Yeah.
Outlaws.
They have an embarrassment of riches in their
Arsenal.
tank. Their tank line.
Such a good tank line.
Well, they did.
Another, not release, but change of role for Clockwork. He is now going to a non-player role in
So
air
coach.
quotes.
Coach/analyst.
I'm guessing, yeah, coach /
From what he
analyst.
was saying in his tweet, whatever description, it seemed like analyst
Yeah.
or like strategist, maybe.
Yeah. Like
So-
watching VODs and being like, this is what we do well, stuff like
Yeah.
that. It was weird. The Houston Outlaws Twitter, Flames Twitter, and Clockwork's Twitter all said something different without like just straight up saying what he's doing. And pretty much everyone's like, they don't know why he's there. Flame just wanted to keep him because he's friends with them. So it's like, hey, you want to just stay on the team but not be a player?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Anyway.
not a bad thing because I'm sure like he's good.
And
So,
he also mentioned, like, if another FPS game comes out and is really popular, he might try to jump on that train and do well there because he still thinks he can do well in FPS. It's just he kind of fell off Overwatch a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, time will only tell. Can you hear the ambulance?
Next up, the least surprising, hands down the least surprising announcement in my mind is Mendo shifting to being a content creator for the Outlaws.
I don't even know what he did this season.
Nothing. Apparently, like, he has not lived in LA for the past, like, 3 months.
Well, the season's been over for a while, but
Not for 3 months.
they also offered him, like, reportedly, they said, do you want to go on stage and play? And he's like, nah, it's okay.
Yeah, apparently he had some, like mental stuff going on where he was, like, I think it was a mix between being homesick and just, like, being afraid that he wouldn't perform and, like, anyway.
So hopefully this is better for him.
Yeah, this is very good. It's the least surprising, like I said. It's like he's been streaming and he's part of the Outlaws and he doesn't play. So just make him a streamer for the Outlaws.
A little strange, but, you do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
Next story.
Next story. Dallas Fuel. This was confusing on Reddit because the guy wrote the title as resign instead of re-sign,
Oh.
which are opposites.
They're
Literally
very
opposites.
close in work, though.
Literally just missing a hyphen, and it's the opposite of what it is.
Strange.
Dallas Fuel re-signs 7 players ahead of Overwatch League Season 2. So they re-signed AKM, Effect, Harry Hook, Mickey, OGE and Unko and Taimu. None of those are surprising. AKM was not surprising, but like I also wouldn't have been surprised if they released him.
Effect is surprising after what happened.
A little surprising, yeah.
Because it seemed like he wasn't ever going to play again.
But he's had like a complete attitude change, and mindset change.
So I hope he gets back to playing again. And I'm kind of sad that he's still on Dallas. Because I would have liked to see him somewhere else, but
I just hope that the new management like really is like, okay, we're gonna make sure that he's all right. Because like Arrow has talked about how much he thinks like player mentality is very important. So like he cares very much about making sure his players are okay. So hopefully that is good for Effect. Because we just want him to be happy. Another thing. What were you gonna? Was it about Effect?
I was going to say no.
Are you going to talk about Coco?
I was going to talk about Chipsa.
Okay, not Chipsa. Chipsa High-End.
Chipsa.
Or Chips. Not Chipsa. Chipsa is a completely
Chips
different person.
Chips is a dirty Minecraft boy.
No, Dante is.
No, Dante's a beautiful angel.
I think you're mixing some things up.
Dante's a beautiful angel.
I know he's a beautiful angel, but Chipsa called
Everyone's
Dante.
played Minecraft. Everyone played Minecraft.
Even NYXL when they should have been scrimming.
Everyone plays Minecraft.
I love Minecraft.
We still play Minecraft sometimes.
Yep. Honestly, it's not as... People get mad at it because it... Anyway, we're going to move on. So obviously Seagull's not on the team because he retired and is a full-time streamer doing very well. But Chips was also released, which makes sense. Even though like when they brought him back in at the end, he was like doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to try and get... I don't think he's going to try and get on another team.
Yeah, maybe not.
I think he said on Twitter he's just not going to look for another team. Not confirmed, though. Don't, like...
It does make sense that he was released, though, because they have Unko now. So they don't really need him.
And they have Harry Hook, who is...
Isn't Harry Hook main? I thought Harry Hook was a main.
Chips Ahayan is a main.
Nope.
Literally...
That's not what this is.
Well, the clip that I saw, I watched their goodbye video, and one of the clips they had was of him playing Mercy, killing a guy. I think he just plays healer. He plays every healer.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is...
They need to define roles.
Yeah.
But you can't in this game.
If he isn't retiring from Pro Overwatch, I wouldn't be surprised if he got signed to a team because he's still good. But I'm pretty sure that he's just not going to join another team.
Yeah. And then Coco was signed as a coach.
Yeah.
Which guess makes sense. I don't really know how their room works. But sort of the same thing as what happened with Clockwork. Except they actually told us that he was going to be a coach.
Yeah. And this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think of this as an option. I was like, they're going to let Coco go.
Yeah.
But very good. That makes me happy.
Who's the main tank on Dallas, though?
OGE.
Oh, right, yeah.
Very good.
Makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
All right. So that's the Dallas Fuel news. Let's hope they can turn it around. Speaking of turning things around, probably not going to happen for the Florida Mayhem, but boy, are they trying.
Did we talk about mistakes?
Yep.
Okay. I just have a bad memory.
Florida Mayhem releases Swoosh, Logix, Zebosai, Manitin, Zupe, and Zappas.
So the only people they're keeping are Seiya, Awesome Guy, and...
Tavik.
Yes, Tavik, which makes sense.
And there were rumors that Florida Mayhem was going to go full Korean, and then everyone was like, Tavik's still there, guys. And then everyone was like, oh, so it's full Korean plus Tavik. Which is not... that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Also, they released this Penthouse tour before, like a day before they announced the Mayhem releases, and it had all the players in it. So it's weird.
Maybe they're still living there till like a certain time. I don't know.
They like toured them around this penthouse, and then they're like, "Oh, but we don't want you like here." They don't want you here with us.
Yeah.
Leave. Bleed.
Please.
Bleed.
Not surprised. None of these are surprising except Zappos.
Logix is kind of surprising,
Well, no, because they have Seiya.
I guess. But I just think Logix is obviously...
I think Logix is
will get
very
picked
similar situation to Shadowburn, where it's like they're both very good. It's just they have someone who's somewhat better than them on the team.
And I think they're also similar in another way, because I think Logix is going to go to a expansion team, not
An established one, yeah.
an established team.
Logix might, maybe, slightly, might happen go to Houston because of his Tracer play.
I think that's just too much, though. And they, like, you always discount that they have Arhan, who they didn't really play because of the communication aspect.
Yeah, I guess so.
That was their main reason for not playing him.
But the thing is, like, yeah, he didn't really like have a crazy performance or anything, though. But I guess he didn't really have an opportunity to. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna go to Houston. I just think it's like that is a very slight possibility. The issue is one of his main heroes is Widow, and they have Linkser, so why would they do that?
Yeah.
Zappos is a surprise to me mainly because he's on Finland right now and he's doing very well.
Mm-hmm. It might just be like a team chemistry fit thing, maybe.
Maybe. Or although there was a lot of drama with his release, because Zappos pretty much tweeted saying, just a heads up, they didn't even give me a trial.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like every other person here got a trial. He didn't get a trial. And then the management pretty much came out and were like, hey, we couldn't give him a trial because he was at World Cup. And then I think it was...
it's an online video game.
Oh, yeah. Then Stylosa came out.
Mm-hmm.
Stylosa tweeted being like, very bad management from Florida Mayhem, not even telling one of their like best players that they're releasing him, not giving him an option to trial to be on the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of messed up. And then the management responded saying, whoa, who are you to say that our management is bad? We're going to give him a trial. And then he was like, well, you just said that the trials are over. And there was just this whole back and forth, and pretty much Zappos is like, I'm sorry I caused this drama. And then it's like, but like...
It is bad management. And I could see Zappos getting picked up.
Yeah. Because the thing is, for the Florida Mayhem, he was their healer.
Mm-hmm.
But on Finland, he's their off-tank. He can play tons of stuff. Just pick him up.
Mm-hmm.
Pick him up.
He is 28, too. So I could see him being picked up as a backup.
Yeah, he is. He's getting older, but clearly his skill isn't waning.
No, not at all.
Now, we've come, or I guess we didn't cover. We've covered shock stuff, but in the past, but we'll cover it here real quick. Here's the table that Calder's been looking at, and he wanted me to look at the whole time. We're just gonna
you don't like me.
Skim through these and just say what we think the future for each player is. Seagull, I think he's gonna stream probably.
Oh, that's interesting.
Fissure, we know what he's doing. Think he's gonna do well. I think he might be the key to making Seoul not trash.
Mm-hmm. As long with removing the fact that they have 4 head coaches.
Yeah. IDDQD, I forgot about him. He'll probably get picked up.
Yeah.
He is getting older, but he's clearly good.
Expansion pickup, maybe?
Yeah. Dak, honestly, don't even think he'll get picked up.
Yeah.
Nomi, maybe an expansion team?
Or backup tank on a team.
Yeah.
Backup main tank.
Gambler.
Actually, Nomi's pretty good. I could see him starting on a...
I could see him starting on an expansion team. Gambler, he's retired. Kalios, maybe an expansion
Probably
team.
Gonna get picked up.
There's not an there's not a crazy amount of off tanks.
Yeah.
So Kalios will probably get picked up.
And I can't really think of a team that doesn't have a good enough one. Like I can't think of one that has one that's worse than Kalios. That's their starter.
Expansion team has
Well,
none. They have no main tanks.
Look
Avast,
at you, Mr. Big Boy.
Avast, probably gonna get picked up.
Yeah, picked up.
Snow, I think
Picked up.
that's like a definite gonna get picked up. iRemix, probably gonna get picked up.
Yeah.
By an expansion team. Asher, probably gonna get picked up. Silk
I
Thread,
say,
definitely
gonna-
picked up.
actually, never mind. So yeah.
Silk Thread, absolutely, definitely gonna get picked up. He could be like, there's a couple teams that have like dominant DPS lines, like friggin' Fusion and Gladiators. I could see him being on another dominant DPS line.
Yeah,
Yanis, I could see him getting picked up.
definitely for
Yep.
sure. Like that's not even a question.
Now, altering Free Feel, Five King, and Zushu and Sky, don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know how good they are.
Yeah, it's hard to
I doubt
tell.
that anyone on the Shanghai support line will get picked up.
Yeah,
Um,
but
maybe
the two names,
I think
or the three
I-
names I didn't see.
altering.
I don't know.
He did have like the highest healing per 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
League.
altering might get picked up. But the three names I didn't say were Roshan, Addo, and Damon. Damon showed some promise, so I could see him going to an expansion team. Same with
Yes.
Roshan. He just didn't
Yes.
get a chance to sign or to shine because as soon as they got Fearless, they just never played him. And Addo obviously is crazy good.
Yeah.
Fact Fiction, easily picked up,
Mhm.
starter on
Going
a
to the
team.
Muppets movie.
Mistakes, easily going to get picked up. Shadowburn, easily going to get picked up. All three of those people I think are going to be starters on their teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Joe Meister, I think he'll get picked up.
Yeah, for sure.
Day-
Expansion team.
Dayfly, we didn't really see much of, but I could see him going to a team.
Mm-hmm.
Miro,
I just don't know which one.
yeah, Miro, I could see.
I could see potentially maybe a contenders team to try and like work on strategy a little more, but
I could
Nice.
honestly see him going to an expansion team. It's possible. It's just he hasn't.
There's a lot of pretty good main tanks already. So it's at some point there's got to be a cutoff where it's like
Honestly, I don't know how good Miro's English is, but if it's
So that could
good,
affect it a
if it's
lot.
good, I could see him getting on an expansion team. But if it's not, then I think contenders might be more his route. Guido and Wakid, don't think.
I think Wakid might, because I vaguely remember some pretty good plays by Wakid, but I don't have any like examples to back that up. So I'm just kind of talking out of my ass. He is also 18 years old.
Wakid is?
Mhm.
Wow.
So I could see him
Getting picked up just because he's like a young prospect, yeah.
and maybe just getting thrown on a contenders team or something like that.
Yeah. Clockwork, I could see getting picked up as a coach
Uh,
or an analyst. Mendo,
or just a guy in the room.
just a guy who's like, yeah.
Good one.
Mendo streaming, Coco coach, co-coach, haha.
Oh, that's a good one.
Chips, it doesn't say he's retired here. So if he's not retired, I could see him getting picked up easily.
I see a 1A or a 1 and a 2 option. Retire, number 1. Get picked up by expansion team number 2.
Yep. Swoosh. Yeah.
I think
He wasn't garbage.
I just don't know how like well his play style kind of fits in it.
I think he might be a good pickup because he also has a very likable personality because personality is also very important. Like, I forget who was tweeting about it recently, but they were pretty much saying like, oh, I think it might have been Monty, where he was like, man, it's crazy, or no, maybe it was Jane or something, I don't know, but someone tweeted saying it's crazy how much people think, or like how much importance people put on their mechanical skill when their attitudes are garbage.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. So personality is a big part of it. I could see him getting picked up because he's pretty good and he has a good personality.
And he's like been there before too, right?
Yeah, so he knows what's going on.
For a veteran, I'm sure he'd be a pretty great pickup for him.
Yeah. Logic's gonna get picked up.
Yeah.
Zebasai,
I don't know by who.
Yeah, I don't know by who. Zebasai, honestly don't think.
It's hard to judge how well these main supports do because it's like how do you judge it? By healing done?
I mean, pretty much every like discussion thread that I saw on Florida Mayhem games were like, man, Zebasai's bad.
Let's look at some stats real quick.
Like even when like when Zap has talked about how he didn't even get a trial, people were like, they gave Zebasai a trial and not Zappis. It's like, poor guy, but
so Zebasai only had 9,000 healing per 10 minutes, which is not like
for Overwatch League is not great.
He was way down on the list. Looks like he's 15th or something.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
Zupe, I could see getting picked up. He wasn't bad.
He had almost the same amount of healing per 10 minutes as Boombox.
Who plays Zenyatta?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Zupe, I could see getting picked up. I could also see Manitin getting picked up. Manitin was kind of like...
Manitin's already a free agent, so I think he's trying to get picked up, which... There were a lot of... Now, it could be weak support line. Obviously, because they drop both supports, they don't believe in the support line. So it could be that he just didn't have the support to do well.
And
kind of like Roshan, how like that was one of the reasons why he wasn't able to show how good he is, because he needs a lot of resources when you're playing a main tank.
Yeah. And honestly, Manitin was kind of like, other than Tavik and Say a player, Manitin was kind of like the consistent good player on the team, if there was one.
And people were always like, oh, wow, Manitin's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So.
And Zap is going to get picked up.
Yeah.
Zap is going to get picked up. Coaching, we're not really...
I don't really know a lot about the coaches, to be honest.
The main things are a bunch of Dynasty releases. Jane is a fuel. Assistant coach. Go to Toronto, Jane. Come over
Ringo.
here. Friggin'.
Wait, let's see where he's from.
And then Wizard Young released, and Coco and Clockwork becoming coaches for their teams.
Jane's Wikipedia page doesn't have an image, but he's streaming every second. And also it just says from Canada. Do you want to hear some of Jane's alternate IDs?
Wait, his Wikipedia page says from Canada?
It just says Canada. It doesn't say like Ontario or Toronto.
Oh, you wanted to see like where he's from?
Yeah. You want to hear some of his alternate IDs?
Sure.
So there's Blackbeard, Healbot, Goose, One Shot, and Catchphrase.
Wow.
Interesting. Very interesting. Jane's 25 years old.
Yeah.
He was born in 1993.
He does look a little older.
I didn't think he was like that close to my age.
That is weird. I guess I can relate to it a little
Orange.
bit. It's probably the balding. Balding does it.
The balding doesn't help.
It made me so happy because Team Canada tweeted a picture of the full team, and they were all standing in a row with their like jerseys on, and they were all like posing and like being all cool. And then Jane is just standing there, friggin' bald head smile, just going like, "Oh shoot, my friggin' headphones." He was just standing there like this. Huge smile on his face. Friggin' love that kid. I can call him a kid because we're pretty much the same age. Are you talking right now?
You know, Effect had the second highest damage per 10 minutes.
Oh,
in the league.
Oh no. Keep talking. Oh, wait. Calder, wait. Since my headphones unplugged, I have it set up so that your audio comes through whatever I can hear in my headphones, and I can't hear anything right now.
Yeah, I don't want you to, you little bitch.
I apologize to the listeners.
Oh, I'm sorry, kids.
And the watchers.
Let's talk about some other
There
stats
we
here.
go.
Who had the highest elim? Spree had the highest elim per 10 minutes at 20.42, which is kind of surprising because I didn't know Spree.
I don't know if you
killing
could
that
hear
many
me, but no one heard a
No, I
thing you
could.
just said.
Oh, like not at all?
No, because the thing is set up
Oh,
so that
I thought they could
your
still hear
audio
me.
comes through my headphones, and it's like it hears what I hear, and I couldn't
Did you
hear
know Note had the third highest elims per 10 minutes?
in the league. Third highest.
Yep.
Well, I guess it was like, oh, he's getting a couple kills. 5K, friggin' 8K.
Spree's got the highest.
Really?
Did you hear the thing I said about the
good.
damage? Effect has second highest damage for 10 minutes.
Oh wow.
And then Baby Bay's ahead of him.
Wow.
Oh god, I'm tired. A tired little daddy.
It is a little late. Anyway,
Yeah.
I say we call it there. Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the Broverwatch
Do we
podcast.
want to talk about rumored stuff at all? Oh, there's this Seoul rumor about Zephyr getting released and Kuki going to an academy team, which
Okay.
is unsubstantiated as of yet. And there's also another rumor about coaches for the expansion teams, and most Cephii to Cephii to Atlanta. Who was the other one? I'm just gonna listen to the clip real quick from
Okay.
Jacob Wolf.
Who apparently is kind of another slasher.
Yeah, I know. He's from ESPN. So Cephii's Atlanta. Actually, Cephii's already gone to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Mitchell's going to DC. And then Kai is rumored to be in the process of, like, in the number of people, like in the, I don't know, the pool of people to be coaching Vancouver, which I think we already kind of mentioned that,
Yo, I think we mentioned that at the top.
just to make sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it is kind of interesting to be like, oh, Kai joins Houston Outlaws as an assistant coach for half of a stage.
And then he goes, oh, I can be a coach somewhere else. I did really well in Dallas.
Yeah. Also,
just-
two more things that not important at all, both Houston related. Muma says he believes in the. I put this on like our list of news before any Houston players were released, where he said he believes in the current roster. So then at the time it was like, are they gonna release anybody? And then they released the people that made sense to release. So
But they didn't, like, release them. That's
well, they released one, which people were saying like, why didn't you just say, hey, by the way, Fact Fiction is released, Clockwork is a new role, and Mendo is streaming, just all at once.
Mhm.
And Flame said they wanted to give Fact Fiction his own day, so that he got more focus, so he had a higher chance of getting signed, which was very good, actually.
Because he's very good.
Because he's very good. So, but for the most part, this still stands where it's like they're pretty much keeping the same roster. Because I think it was you who I was talking to, where it's like, Houston Outlaws were they were one win away from making playoffs. And the people who were the top two in playoffs were the two teams that were closest to Houston.
Yeah, the 5th and 6th teams.
Yeah. So, like, the team that Houston almost knocked out of the playoffs came in second.
Yeah.
So it's like they're already a pretty good team. They just need to refocus some things.
Yeah.
And then the least important news story of the whole thing, Houston Outlaws color change.
Which is kind of just dumb, like a dumb thing. Because it's a McCree skin in a posting about Team USA watch party.
Yeah, it's a Team USA watch party thing. And they have McCree's skin here, and it's black and white. And everyone's like, does this mean they're getting rid of the green and they're just going black and white? And it's like, honestly,
probably not.
No. I don't think so. Why would they announce it in this way? That's my question.
Stupid idiot.
Anyway, everybody, we appreciate you coming in and listening to the podcast. We appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a long one because there was too much news. But yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. Tune in a couple days. Sorry this one was late, but it just didn't work out.
Maybe we should say something next time, but
I was thinking of tweeting and then I forgot. So anyway, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.